Israel's ongoing offensive in the Gaza Strip has spilled over into the Red Sea. The Houthis have ramped up their attacks on the Israeli-affiliated ships or any ships that are suspected of carrying cargo to the Israeli ports. To talk more on the escalating tensions in Red Sea, we're now being joined by Dr. Gilbert Doctorow, international affairs expert and author, and he's joining us live from Brussels. Thank you so much for joining us on WION, Doctor.
Thanks for having me.
Right, well, for starters, talk to us about the tensions which have spilled from the ongoing Israel-Gaza war to the Red Sea.
Well, the tensions in the Gaza war are spreading to the whole region. The Arab states, neighboring Arab states, have seen large demonstrations in the streets against the existing governments for their restraint and for their unwillingness to become engaged in this Arab-Israeli struggle in Gaza, which could become a regional war, and which they all want to avoid. Nonetheless, the feelings of the people are very clearly against this passivity or restraint. So it's not surprising that in one place or another, a local government does act. In this case, we're speaking about Yemen. Right. And let us remember the strategic geographical position of Yemen as the goalkeeper in the south of the Red Sea. And what is the Red Sea? The Red Sea is a major component of the Europe to East Asia route for all container and other traffic using the Suez Canal. So it is of strategic importance to the whole world. And unlike military attacks that have been expected or hoped for by Gazans coming from Iran or from Syria or from Lebanon, this is not a military operation as such. It is a threat to transport. And so it is a novel and a new development in the 50 or 60-year-long conflict over Palestine.
Well, absolutely. The tension is almost 2 centuries old, like you mentioned. Now, Yemen's Iran-aligned Houthi movement engaged in Oman-mediated talks, indicating that the Houthis may be willing to de-escalate. What is your assessment on this?
Well, I think that is a fair assessment. The behavior of the Houthis, or of Yemen as such, has been very calculating. These are not pirate attacks. These are coordinated efforts between Yemenis and their Iran backers to bring pressure to bear. Iran itself, let's say that Iran is one of the leading intellectual forces and strategic planners in what is going on now, and they have been in and out from pressure to relaxation and so forth. They have not encouraged their proxies to exert or use the full power they have. The proxies on the one side are the Houthis in Yemen, on the other side of Israel, they are Hezbollah in Lebanon. And there has been restraint and movement back and forth between negotiation and armed conflict. So it's not surprising that the Houthis would be playing both sides to this, both trying to engage in brokerage and to de-escalate, at the same time applying judiciously pressure to international shipping, so that the whole world would understand that this is not just a local conflict, but potentially a regional and global conflict.
Right, Dr. Gilbert, I was just coming to that. The impact of tensions in Red Sea on the shipping routes at the moment.
Well, Maersk was one of the first major shippers, and it is a leading container ship owner and operator. They were among the first to declare that this is a dangerous area and to try to avoid passage through the Red Sea. Other transporters have recently been attacked from a variety of countries, even Bulgaria. What do we mean by attacked? There have been missile strikes on several of these ships, which have caused damage and fire, but sunk a ship. These ships are very large, and it takes a massive attack to bring them down, down and to sink them. This has not happened, although it doesn't mean that it couldn't happen. The Houthis are not only dependent on supplies of missiles from Iran, they have their own manufacturing capabilities, and there's reason to believe that they have a substantial store of these missiles. But as I say, the attacks on shipping have not been only of missile strikes. They have been landing parties that have gone onto ships in passage to inspect them and to bring to the awareness of their owners the potential threat coming from Yemeni forces. There's also the remark that even Iran's naval forces in the region have been complicit or have been even participating in what the Yemenis are doing at sea. So it's a complicated picture.
Right, Dr. Gilbert, we speak of tensions in the Red Sea because of the attacks by Houthis, but also talk to us about the implications of the Houthi attacks beyond the region, because the Red Sea links Europe and Asia, and it is quite a vital trade route as well.
Yes, that's absolutely true. And lest the public think of Yemen in terms of its civil war and poverty, indeed, it is one of the most impoverished nations in the region of Northeast Africa and Southwest West Asia. Nonetheless, it's a country with 33 million people. And if you want to equate national poverty with poor military capabilities, it's a wrong assumption. I think of another country with a similar population level and also a record of having impoverishment, North Korea. They've done quite well in arming themselves, and so it is with Yemen. The 33 million people amount to a substantial capability of supporting a defense industry, which they have. And this is not discussed in Western press. It has been discussed on Russian press, where the Russian experts have been quite surprised at the level of production of guided missiles in Yemen. So the arsenal is there if they wanted to use it. As I said, they have been using it judiciously to apply pressure and to bring the issue to the awareness of international shippers, who will then, they expect, pressure their governments to do something to de-escalate the war in Gaza.
Right, Dr. Gilbert, thanks very much for joining us in WION and sharing insights with us on the story.
My pleasure.